Hi, I wanted to give some instructions here for the insect pest research assignment. So, learning intention on this one, we're learning to use the best practices for growing and maintaining the health of plants so we can maximize production of plant products. Success criteria, I'll be successful when I can research biological information about different insect pests common to Kansas, and I can describe what characteristics the insect has that causes it to be labeled a pest. So again, we're trying to look at some organisms that we could find in our own garden that could be harmful to our plants, and just try to figure out a way to get rid of them. Insect pests can be harmful to many crops and other horticulture operations. You'll be researching some common insect pests of Kansas. Choose any 3 insects from this list. So again, we've got a long list here with common names. The scientific name in parentheses is going to be important because that's going to be the main way that you want to look up your information. So for each insect you pick, fill out the information on the chart below. Use the scientific name, again the name in parentheses and italics, to help you search for accurate information about the insect. To find a picture of each insect's life cycle, try searching for the scientific name along with the phrase life cycle and look through images in the search results. The picture you select or draw, again if you decide to do this on paper, should show the insect's egg stage, juvenile stage, either the larva and pupa or nymph, depending on the type of insect, and the adult stage. If you cannot find a single picture with the full life cycle, use 3 to 4 pictures showing the insect in those different life stages. Then answer the reflection questions that follow. So for example, let's say that I was going to look at the emerald ash borer. I can highlight its scientific name here. I'm going to copy and paste it. And again, this will give me information that's just related to the emerald ash borer. So let's look at what information we need to put together. Name of the insect, again, you can just put its common name here. You don't have to put its scientific name. You can put either one. We want to know the insect's scientific order. The insect order names usually end in Ptera. Again, you can think back to what we talked about in our slideshow that was related to this information, or after you look up the animal, try looking on its Wikipedia entry. Again, there'll be classification information here on the right-hand side. So right here where it says scientific classification, it gives me these different groupings, and I can find the order Coleoptera. Again, it ends in Ptera. So I know that I've got the right word. And again, I want the technical term for it. Coleoptera basically means beetles, but I don't want it to just say beetles. Tell me Coleoptera. Tell me the actual order that we're looking for there. I want to know, is it native to the United States or invasive from outside of the United States? Again, pretty easy to search for that information. What types of plants does it damage? So again, list as many as you can find. How does it damage those plants? What is it doing to them to cause them to be harmed? What is one method to control the population of this insect? So just one type of pest control method for getting rid of it. What type of integrated pest management is that control method? Is it non-chemical, biological, or chemical? And again, I included a link to our class slideshow where we talked about integrated pest management. Just as a quick reminder of what each of those methods are, non-chemical controls, again, would involve collecting them by hand. In the case of things like insects, if we're talking about biological controls, we might be talking about some sort of pest predator. So again, something that would consume the pest in a lot of these cases, or something like bacteria that might harm that particular insect. And then when we talk about chemical controls, this is really where we're talking about things like insecticides whenever we're talking about different types of insect pests. So some sort of chemical-derived spray that can get rid of them. So again, you should be able to determine, based on the information you know about how to get rid of that particular insect, which method it is. So then, again, we want the picture of its life cycle. So just to show an example here with the emerald ash borer, again, I've got its scientific name here, and I'm going to add life cycle. And now I want to look at images. So I'll get several references here. You may very well get something like this, which will be like an infographic from a gardening website. Again, I'm going to right-click this image and try to open the image in a new tab here. So you could get something like this that shows like, oh, here's the larva stage, here's the adult stage. It didn't really show us the egg stage that we were looking for. So again, I might look for something that gives a little bit more insight. So let's look at this reference image. This one's a little bit better. You can kind of see some of the in-between stages as well as the adult stage. So again, just look for one that has really good references as far as showing its different life cycle stages for that particular space. And again, if you can't find a single image to do this, just combine several images. And again, you might search for things like the scientific name in egg stage, the scientific name in juvenile stage, and the scientific name in adult stage to create a combination of images there. So again, you'll want to do this for 3 different insects from the list. Here at the very bottom, I just want you to tell me, what do you notice that all the example insects have in common? And what do you notice that is different between all the example insects? So again, after you've filled out the charts, think about what you notice as far as things that they have in common and things that are different. So again, I hope that this helps you learn a little bit more about some of the insect pests that you're likely to encounter, not only in our school garden, but potentially your gardens at home, and gives you a little bit more insight into how to take care of plants.